story of accessories crochet. Again, welcome back to my channel. We are nearing Christmas season and it's about time to think of projects we can add to our collections of Christmas decors. Today, let me share with you this wonderful angel dishcloth designed by Edna Howell. I found this free pattern online and you can find the link in the description box below. I have done this 10 years ago and it's one of the first projects made in yarn. This is very easy. You can finish this in one sitting or maybe between 2 to 3 hours. That depends on how fast you work. I also made this in an off-white yarn. I hope you can see the difference in color. And of course, in Christmas colors, red and green. And another off-white yarn. If you notice, I varied the length of the skirt. You will see how it is done later. To make this, you will need 2 pieces of 15 grams or 35 meters of love knots yarn, or you can make 2 pieces of this in their 50 grams or 128 meters. I used this as hand towels in the kitchen. I also made this using Canon mercerized cotton 8 thread. These are my leftover thread. If I'm not mistaken, you can make at least 3 angels with one ball. I used this as an ornament and this is how I hung it in our bookshelf. You may also use this to decorate your Christmas trees. And these are my latest addition to my collection. I made it using tiny cord. I'm planning to hang them in one of our walls in the living room, so I added this loop at the back. To gather it all, I already have 8 pieces of different sizes, colors, and types of thread used. It is also a nice gift for Christmas, don't you think? So, let's begin. In this pattern, you will learn how to do V-stitch, shell stitch, and picot. For those who have not encountered these stitches, you only need to know how to do slip stitch, chain, single crochet, and double crochet, and you are good to go. Why? Because these new stitches are just combinations of the basic stitches I just enumerated. For the materials I have mentioned before, we will be using yarn. I choose a shade of off-white yarn from Love Knots for this demonstration, and one 1-inch ring, plastic or wooden. Mine is wooden. And your tools are stitch marker, tapestry needle, reaper, and your 5mm hook. Let's grab the off-white yarn, pull out the other end in the middle, in this way, your yarn will not go anywhere when you pull your thread out as you work on your project. Wrap your hand with the yarn and using your hook, make a slip knot. To start row 1, Place your ring in front of the slip knot. Insert the hook onto the ring. Grab the yarn over, pull through 2 loops. We can hold the tail at the back of the ring so that we can hide it. Just don't pull it too tight, since the first single crochet has a tendency to move at the back of the ring, and we're going to have a hard time to locate and insert the hook through it. We'll cover the ring with 24 single crochet. What we did is counted as 1, so we will do 23 more single crochets around the ring. That's 2. And continue, and I will see you before the end of the row. Welcome back. Let me do 2 single crochets to complete the 24 single crochet of row 1. Then, to end the row, we will do a slip stitch on the first single crochet. This is what I'm telling you about to loosen up a bit, so we were not going to have a hard time to insert our hook on first single crochet. Row 2, chain 1, then single crochet on the same stitch as chain 1, then chain 3, skip 1 stitch and single crochet on the next stitch. Do this 11 times. And I will see you before the end of the row. Welcome back. Go ahead and do chain 3 as I did. Then skip 1 stitch, slip stitch on the first single crochet. That's the end of row 2. We have now 12 single crochets and 12 chain spaces. Row 3. Slip stitch on the first chain space, then chain 4, and double crochet on the same chain space. This is how we start a V-stitch. Chain 1, do another V-stitch by double crochet onto the next chain space. Chain 1 and double crochet. Do this 4 times. This time we have 5 V-stitches and 5 chain 1. We will let the other 7 chain spaces from previous row unwork. Row 4. Chain 3. Turn your work, or you may turn your work, then chain 3. It doesn't matter. V-stitch in the chain space of the next V-stitch, V-stitch in the next chain 1 space, do this 4 times, and I will see you before the end of the row. Welcome back. Let me do the last V-stitch and double crochet on the 3rd chain of the previous row. A total of 9 V-stitches and 2 double crochets for this row. Remember that the 3 chains is considered as 1 double crochet. Next is row 5. I find this row the trickiest part where the wings and the foundation of the skirt lie. So let's do chain 3 and turn. For the wings, 3 double crochet on the chain space of the first V-stitch. Then picot, let's have chain 3, slip stitch at the top of the last stitch made, and 3 double crochet. Then chain 3, single crochet in the next space between V-stitches, and chain 3. Let's repeat this. 3 double crochet on the chain space of the next V-stitch, for picot, let's have chain 3, slip stitch at the top of the last stitch made, and 3 double crochet. Chain 3, and then single crochet in the next space between V-stitches, and chain 3. For the skirt, this will be the start of the repeat shell in chain space of next V-stitch. That is 2 double crochet then chain 2, then 2 double crochet. This is our first shell stitch. Double crochet in next space between these stitches. Repeat 4 times. One more double crochet to finish the repeat. Shell in chain space of next stitch. Then we will do the other side of the wings. Notice that there are 2 V-stitches from previous row left unworked. So let's do the wings by chain 3, single crochet in next space between V-stitches, and chain 3. 3 double crochet on chain space of next V-stitch, picot, then 3 double crochet. Again, let's repeat this. Chain 3, single crochet in next space between V-stitches, then chain 3, 3 double crochet on the last V-stitch, picot, then 3 double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet on the third chain of the previous row. Do not turn. This is your right side. Fasten off. To recap, we have 2 wings, 1 2 shell stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then board double crochet, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 2 wings, 1, 2. Don't forget the chain 1 here before double crochet. So that's it for row 5. Row 6, turn your work upside down. These are the 2 wings, and this is the first shell. We will join with slip stitch in chain space of first shell. Chain 3, shell in the same chain space as joining slip stitch. Skipping stitches on shell, double crochet in next stitch between shells, then shell in next shell, and repeat this 4 times. One more shell to finish the repeat. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 shells and 4 double crochets. Double crochet in the same chain space as the last shell made. Now we're done in row 6. Row 7, we shall start with chain 3 and turn. Shell in the first shell, skipping stitches on shell, then V-stitch in next stitch between shells, shell in next shell. Repeat this 4 times. One more V-stitch for the repeat. And then shell. Double crochet on third chain, then chain 3. Let's recap. In this row, we will have 5 shell and 4 V-stitches. Turn your work to begin row 8. This is the start of our repeating rows. I already done the chain 3, so let's do shell stitch on the chain space of the first shell. V-stitch in chain space of next V-stitch, shell in next shell. Repeat this 4 times. One more shell stitch before the end of the row. Then double crochet on third chain. To recap, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 shells, 1, 2, 3, 4 V-stitches, and 1 chain 3 counted as double crochet and double crochet on each end. In the pattern, as I've explained earlier, the repeating rows are only up to row 14, but I want the skirt to be longer. You may add more rows as you want, but make sure that you will do this in even numbers, so your nth row will fall on the right side and not on the wrong side. You may put a marker so you will not get lost in counting your rows. Go ahead and finish your rows, and I will see you at the end of row 20. Welcome back. This is now our angel. The marker here is at row 8, so counting the rows that follows, I am in row 20. As I've said, I made sure that the last row is an even number and will fall on the right side, so that the nth row will fall on the right side also. This is the wrong side of our work, where we begin row 21. Go ahead and do chain 3, and turn. Shell in the first shell, shell in chain space of next V-stitch, shell in next shell. Repeat this 4 times. In short, we will do shell across the row. Then, double crochet in last stitch. Row 22. Chain 3 and turn. We are now at the right side of our project where we want the last row to be. Go ahead and do 6 double crochet in chain space of each shell across. Let's do one more 6 double crochet in chain space of the last shell. Double crochet in last stitch. And fasten off. For the halo, with right side face you, join with slip stitch in the first and work chain 3 space in row 2. 3 single crochet in the same chain space as joining single crochet. Then 3 single crochet in each of the next 6 chain 3 spaces. Fasten off, then tuck in the tails, and here is our finished project. I hope you had a great time with me. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, you may do so by clicking the subscribe button below. Also, don't forget to click the notification bell for you to be notified once an update or new upload is out. Happy crocheting and have a great day!